Good evening and welcome to the Newman City Council regular meeting, May 27, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. Right? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we are gathered here today for you to guide us and so we can have collaborative conversation, and please guide us in today's meeting. We also would like to take this time and remember our in just past Memorial Day. So let's go ahead and please pray for our families, and may they find comfort. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember Pimentel.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ball.
Here.
Councilmember Tomlinson.
Here.
Councilmember Harden.
Here.
Mayor Graham.
Here. Any declarations of conflicts of interest tonight? No? Items from the public, non-agenda items. Anybody wishing to speak, please step up to the podium and state your name and address. And go ahead.
No, to the mic.
Aquí tengo un micrófono aquí. Si puede decir su nombre y domicilio.
Ok, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Honorio Valencia.
¿Y su domicilio?
914 Fresno Street.
Ok. ¿Y si puedes decirnos qué es su preocupación?
Ok, nada más vengo a pedir, ¿en qué me pueden ayudar la ciudad? Tengo el negocio, la taquería.
So he wants to see how the city can help him because he does have a business here. It's a taquería.
Respecto al parqueadero, al parking.
To respect, and parking.
Mínimo de horas de oficina de 8 a 5, si me pueden ayudar en algo respecto a eso.
So when he has his hours of business, which is 8 o'clock in the morning till, ¿a qué horas dijo?
5.
5 p.m., if there's any way you can help him, ¿ayudarlo en qué?
En que sea exclusivo para clientes, no para personas que se parqueen de 8 de la mañana a 5 de la tarde.
So he was just wondering if there could be readily accessible parking for his clients and not necessarily people of that have other business from 8 to 5.
No solo para mis clientes, para el que se quiera parquear, pero
not just
una
his
hora
customers,
o dos.
whoever wants to be there an hour or two. No todo el día.
Lunes a viernes está bien.
Monday through Friday.
Where's he located?
¿Dónde está ubicado?
914 Fresno Street.
914 Fresno Street.
Aquí abajo.
Downstairs. ¿Cómo se llama su negocio?
Taquería El Naranjo.
Taquería El Naranjo, which is located right underneath where we're at. Well, down the street. That's it. That's his question.
We'll have somebody reach out and contact you, but the odds are it's kind of difficult because we have so many businesses across an area that's all shared parking.
Se va a comunicar alguien de la ciudad con usted para su preocupación, pero va a ser un poco difícil porque como está abierto para todo el público y para todos los residentes. Es la única dificultad.
There's cars parked there all day.
¿Tiene una preocupación porque están ahí unos estacionados carros todo el día?
Más que todo, pues mis clientes reniegan que no hay parqueadero.
Yeah, it's because his customers have concerns that there isn't any parking in front of his business. There isn't a
Hay mucho parqueadero enfrente donde se pueden parquear la gente de 8 a 5.
Though he feels like there's plenty of parking for individuals that are there all day, that would need parking all day in front of his business. I think he's meaning the plaza parking.
Si me pueden ayudar en eso.
If there's any way that he can get a little bit of help with that.
Yeah.
And we can reach out to the chamber again, because I know in the past chamber's done a flyer just asking employers and their employees to park in the plaza to try to leave the street parking for the customers. Mm-hmm. We'll reach out to the chamber to see if they'll do something again on there.
Así que dice que puede comunicarse. Él se puede comunicar con con el Comité de Comercio, que porque anteriormente lo que ha pasado es que han dado unos folletos a las personas, a los empleadores que tienen las personas que se estacionan ahí enfrente y que tal vez les pueda decir a sus empleados que se puedan...
Les ayuden.
Sí, que ayuden.
Ok, perfecto.
Pero
muchas
alguien se va a
gracias.
comunicar con usted de parte de la ciudad.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Y cómo no. Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to?
I was going to translate that. Sorry. ¿Alguna otra persona?
How you guys doing? My name is Aaron Cruz Valadez. I own the jewelry store downstairs. Pretty much I'm here just because I rent the place to him, the food place. And at my spot, I mean, I don't want to make it a big deal too, but there's an apartment upstairs and all the cars, like 5 cars stay there the whole night. Sometimes they don't move them for 3 to 4 days. And I don't want to be a bad neighbor, but we want, they could still park across from him and they'll park with me. Yeah, so they're not there 24/7, 4 days, because then that does deter a lot of customers away. Because, I mean, you guys will go here and you guys know how hard it is to get a spot. I get customers going around and around. But with the people living upstairs, sometimes they don't care and they just leave the cars there. And, I don't want to have problems because I do have next to them. And, I've told them, simple, like, hey, whose car is that? Can you just have them not move it, once in a while? But that's our only issue. And he asked me too, because since I do rent to him, his restaurant, and there is a lot of people that just park there all business hours, And I understand, it's public, the city's for everybody. But that's the only kind of concern we have, I know it's impossible to have people obey everything, but just to kind of maybe talk to the landlords or something from where we're at, that way it kind of helps us out. That was pretty much it.
Mike, do we know how many units are for the tenants that are in the places there? Is it 1 unit, or how many folks or tenants do we have that are living in that?
We don't have any tenants that live in ours. Yeah, I think he's talking across the street from us, above where the grill used to be. There's an apartment up there, and that's a private property. But as part of we'll reach out to the chamber again to see if we can do an educational flyer and mail that out to business owners and property owners, and work with our business license community and clerk to see what we can do to just try to remind people to be respectful. To, if you can, park in the plaza. We probably go through this every 3rd or 4th year. It's just, you get it, and everyone goes out there, and then it kind of falls to the wayside. But we'll try to do an educational opportunity here.
Yes, I know that in some cities they have tenant parking designated, 1 spot or whatnot per area. So I didn't know if there's some.
Not in the downtown area, no.
Anybody else wishing to speak? No. Seeing none, we'll move on. Thank you, guys. Number 8, consent calendar. A, waive all readings of ordinance and resolution except by title. B, approval of warrants. C, approval of minutes of the April 22nd meeting. Adopt resolution 2025 next number. A resolution approving the Home Investment Partnership Consortium Agreement. And E, adopt resolution 2025 next number. A resolution approving the cooperation agreement between the County of Stanislaus and the City of Newman for joint participation in the Community Development Block Grant.
Move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a first and a second. We'll go ahead and vote electronically.
I am Mr. Meyer.
Always.
Logged in.
Back out.
Yeah, I tried.
Let's have everybody vote again.
Yeah, I'm trying to cancel. It's not backing up.
It's me again. It's me again, isn't it?
It is.
He unplugged it.
All right,
There we go.
try again. Log in. There you are. Okay, everybody should be able to vote now.
All right, sorry.
There we go. We got it.
Computers are blank. There we go.
Motion carries 5-0. Item number 9, public hearings. Adopt resolution 2025 next number, adopting the health and safety element update.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. State law requires every city to adopt a general plan, and that general plan has a minimum of 7 mandatory elements, including the health and safety element. recent legislation, which includes SB 1035 and SB 379, now require those safety elements to be updated every 8 years in conjunction with the housing element. As you know, back in October of 24, you reviewed the housing element and adopted it. And so now we're looking at this health and safety element. As part of the health and safety element, we look at different things, but basically we look at background and then we adopt some policies and actions. As part of the background, we look, different types of risk associated with the city, including drought, geological, flood, fires, hazardous material, landslides. Some of those apply to us, some of us don't. We're not much of a tsunami risk here, but there are probably other cities in the state that have that. So again, we do some background information. We adopt some goals, policies, and actions. But we also incorporate by reference the Stanislaus County Local Hazardous Mitigation Plan. We have an EOP, Stanislaus County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazardous Mitigation Plan, Flood Protection Plan. So we adopt all those together, and what that does is it just helps us to form a safety plan, an evacuation plan in case we have a major event. So we sent this out. We did get a response from the California Geological Survey. They asked us to include a little bit additional language, and we've included that for you. There's a couple underlined paragraphs. So tonight we're asking you to adopt the resolution 2025, adopting the health and safety element with the proposed changes. And I can answer any questions you may have. This is a public hearing.
Any questions from the council? I'll open up to the public for any comments or questions. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for action.
Move we adopt resolution number 2025, resolution adopting the health and safety element update.
Second.
Mayor, can we just clarify that's with the proposed changes? Oh, you did the public hearing already? Yeah, with the proposed changes.
With the proposed changes.
Second. All right, first and second. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Item B, approve general plan amendments and rezoning required by Program 1.9 of the 6th cycle housing. Item number 1 of that is adopt resolution next to number 2025, a resolution approving general plan amendment number 2025-01, amending the general plan land use designation to high density residential for certain properties identified within the program 1.9 of the 6th cycle housing element.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll take this one as well. As I mentioned earlier, back in October of this last year, we adopted our new housing element. That's part of our general plan. As part of the adoption of that process, there's a series of programs that we have to go about and make some changes. Today, we're going to look at actually 9 properties, 8 zone changes, and I think zone changes in the other general and 9 general plan amendments. And what we're doing is we're upzoning something generally from either an R1 or an R2. There's also a C1 in here as well. And we're going to rezone those to multifamily. And then we're going to change the general plan designation. Most of these are either low density or medium density residential. We're going to redesignate those to high density residential. The idea is to be able to get a minimum of 20 units to the acre on those so that we can meet our regional housing needs assessment as dictated by the state of California. So these are the list of the properties here. As you can see, number 13 doesn't require a zone change. It's already there, but the general plan with MDR. MDR is a 6 to 12 density. We want to get that up to 20, so that's why we're going to redesignate that one. And then we want to show you on a map where these properties are located here. A lot of them are there on, you see it on Inyo and on Prince Street there. Series of properties there, 407 Hills Ferry. There's an L Street property. We did get a couple of property owners did call in because they did get the notice. Most of them, the 2 that we got, did support the change for their particular property. So there was no opposition there. Because this is part of the housing element, we've already done CEQA, which is our state environmental document, California Environmental Quality Act document. We've already adopted that, so there's no additional CEQA that's necessary as part of this change. So tonight we're actually asking you to take 3 actions. One is to hold a public hearing, but after that, we're going to ask you to adopt the attached resolution, which would then redesignate those properties to high-density residential. That changes the density of the property and allow additional units to be built on there. And then rezone 8 of those 9 properties from their current designation to an R3 multifamily zoning district. So with that, I can answer your questions. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Mayor. The second action, or the third action, if you will, is to introduce the ordinance amendment. So the general plan designation is just a resolution, but the rezone is an ordinance amendment. So we'll introduce it at this meeting, and then get final approval at the next meeting. And I can answer any questions any council member may have.
Any questions from council? Seeing none, I'll open up the public for questions or comments.
You step to the mic, please. Just because we have people at home that might want to hear.
Marshall Kroom, 542 Rodeo Grounds Way, homeowner. You said high, say it again,
High density residential.
residential.
Right.
Are you talking like duplex or are you talking apartment dwelling?
They could be either or, depending on the size of the property.
Okay.
But it could be a multifamily, or it could be duplexes, depending on the size of the property and what the property owner wants to come in with.
Okay. My question is because here on N Street, you have that pretty large, the previous slide showed the acreage. What would you do to help with traffic flow, getting in and out?
You're talking about that one there?
That's the one.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'd want to just look at there's actually a street stubbed into that property, as you can see there, right off of Blue Bonnet.
Blue Bonnet,
Right,
yeah.
Sweecum does. So any potential development would come through Sweecum there.
Oh, okay.
And come in through there. We probably would restrict access over the railroad tracks. I don't think the railroad company would permit that.
Okay, that's my question. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions from the public? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for action.
How would you like this? Are we looking at?
You're doing item 1.
Item 1? Okay. So I move to adopt resolution number 2025, a resolution approving general plan amendment number 2025-01, amending the general plan use designation to high-density residential HDR for certain properties identified within program 1.9 of the 6th housing element.
I'll second.
First and second, going to vote. Motion carries 5-0. So item 2 of this that we just approved will be the first reading. So first reading and introduction of ordinance number, or 2025 next number, amending title, zoning, and accompanying zoning maps of the city of Newman in compliance with program 1.9 of the 6th cycle of the housing element. So do we have to do anything other with that because it's already been read, or do you have to?
Yeah, we just need someone to make that motion to introduce it.
So I can motion first reading and introduction of ordinance number 2025, amending title, zoning, and accompanying zoning maps of the city of Newman in compliance with program 1.9 of the 6th cycle housing element.
I'll second.
We have a first and second, but before I do that, would anybody like to comment on what it again? Okay. Then we'll bring it back and vote electronically. We have a first and second. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, guys. Item number 10, adopt resolution 2025 next number, a resolution approving the annual report for the lighting and landscape maintenance district for fiscal year 25-26.
Evening, Mayor and members of the Newman City Council. This is resolution part 2 in our saga for the LOD levying. In a previous meeting, the City Council ordered the creation of the engineer's report, and this resolution is to adopt the engineer's report, which is in your packets. The rates will be increasing 2.69%, which means that in the most expensive zone their charges will go up $9.52 for the entire year. Not a significant amount of money, but all the money that's collected from that goes to take care of the street lights, park lighting, park maintenance, and amenities that are in the area, only within those zones. So happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions from Kevin? I'll go and open up the public for any comments or questions on it. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council.
Move we adopt resolution number 25, a resolution approving the annual report for the Lighting and Landscape Maintenance District for fiscal year 25-26.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Go and vote on it, please. Carries 5-0. Item number B, adopt resolution 2025, next number, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman, California, declaring its intention to levy and collect assessments for the lighting and landscaping main district for the fiscal year 25-26.
And we're cruising right along on to part 3 now. This one is actually where we're declaring our intention to levy the taxes. And after this meeting, if this is approved, we send out notifications, post them in the paper to give people the heads up that taxes are going to be levied on their properties if they're located within those zones, and give them the opportunity to come in and speak at our following meeting. I don't think it's our next one, but I think it's in 2 meetings.
Continuation of the first motion. So go ahead and bring it to council for action.
Motion to adopt resolution number 2025, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman, California, declaring its intention to levy assessments for the lighting and landscape maintenance district for fiscal year 2025.
Second.
We have first and second. Go and vote electronically. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Lou.
Welcome.
Item number 10C, report on the 2025 Newman Fall Festival. Sergeant?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. Before you tonight is the staff report for the Newman Fall Festival 2025. Let me start by saying that this was sent over on the 16th of May. I know the Fall Festival has quite a few new committees that they're trying to make it new, bring in new things, make it exciting. It's expanding, I know that. The last meeting was on the 20th. All of those details hadn't quite been ironed out yet, so I do see members of the board here today. I think they might want to see about possibly making some adjustments. But otherwise, for the staff report that is before you, the changes that were already agreed upon were the event will all eat parts of the event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Everything will close at 10 p.m. And then the adjustment to the insurance, which is also noted on there. If I may, if they would like to come up and pitch any changes.
Good evening, Mayor Graham and council members. My name is Brandon Mello. I've been a resident of Newman for nearly 20 years, and I come before you this evening as the Newman Fall Festival Technology and Systems Administrator on behalf of the Newman Fall Festival Executive Committee, which is here with me in majority tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. As you may know, the Newman Fall Festival is one of the largest and longest running events in our city. It is organized entirely by volunteers and brings together families, vendors, and local organizations year after year, and we are proud of what it contributes to the city of Newman. I've had the pleasure of being a part of the organization primarily as the executive committee secretary since I was a junior in high school just over 5 years ago. Tonight, I am here to request a small but critical change to the proposed indemnity and hold harmless agreement that is a part of Agenda Item 10C, the report on Newman Fall Festival 2025. As currently written, the agreement would make the festival fully responsible for any incidents that happen during the event, even if they are caused by hazards on city property. That includes sidewalks, streets, and grassy areas that are open to the public year-round and maintained by the city. We have been involved in lawsuits before over broken or raised sidewalks and holes in the grass, things we did not cause and do not control. Under this agreement, we could still be forced to defend the city or cover the cost of damages in those cases, and that is not right. We are not asking to avoid responsibility. We are simply asking for language that clearly states if an incident is caused by the city's own negligence or failure to maintain its property, the festival will not be held liable. That is all. a fair and reasonable exception that protects a nonprofit from liability for things outside its control. We have already gone above and beyond to meet the city's new requirements. We added a $4 million umbrella to our insurance policy, bringing our total coverage to $5 million per occurrence and $6 million aggregate, a change alone that has increased our annual insurance premiums by over 60%. We now also require every alcohol vendor to carry their own liquor liability policy, naming both the city and the festival as additional insureds. However, even getting that coverage was not easy. Because of prior incidents near the festival several years ago, we have had a hard time securing general liability insurance at all. If we are forced to accept excessive liability, as written in the indemnity and hold harmless agreement, we run the risk of becoming uninsurable. And if that happens, the festival will unfortunately be unable to go on. Please consider adding the language that protects us from liability when the city is at fault. We want to keep working together to make this event safe, successful, and sustainable for years to come. Thank you.
Anybody else? Can we look into those?
We're trying to work on language right now that with our legal counsel for when the county uses our facility for voting and some of the other things. So we're working the best that we can with our Risk Management Association to accommodate this. We'll do the same with Fall Festival.
Okay. We'll work on, try to get something that works.
Other than that, as I said, the park will be closing at 10 and all the events, including the Evening Under the Stars, 10 p.m. With that, I'm happy to take any questions or concerns.
No, actually, I'd just like to thank the executive community and committee and all the volunteers. This is our #1 event every year. I've been coming here since 1987, been to the Fall Festival since 1987, so I really appreciate all your hard work, so thank you.
I second that. Thank you guys for volunteering and stepping up for such a big event for the community.
I just say I attended the first call to arms, I'll call it, when you guys were asking for help from the community. So I saw a huge turnout, so I was appreciated to see some of the people who hold it dear to their hearts. So I do anticipate that there'll be something I'm sure that Michael will be working to try to help. So I hope that it's enough. So.
What action do we need to take on this because of the potential changes?
Yeah, I would just go ahead and accept the report as presented by Sergeant Williams and then direct staff to work with risk management on the liability issue.
All right, I'll bring it back to council for that.
Move to accept the report on the 2025 Newman Fall Festival.
I second it.
For a second, go ahead. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. All right, items from the city manager and staff.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to kind of parlay on what the Fall Festival is asking, and none of us, the staff, we don't think their request is out of line. I mean, they obviously, if there's a defect, they don't want to have to defend that, and that's reasonable. And so we're just trying to work with our legal from our Risk Management Association to get the correct wording on those. We're having the same issue I said with Stanislaus County. As you know, we held a voting booth or facility here, which is a tremendous asset to our community that people can go in and vote. But we're having that same kind of conversation and language with them right now on that as well. So it's a litigious state that we're in right now. Everybody's getting sued for everything, and insurance rates are skyrocketing, as the Fall Festival knows. And so I think everyone's trying to protect themselves. So we're going to do everything we can to work with the Fall Festival on this. We understand the importance of the Fall Festival in our community, so we'll do everything we can to make sure that both parties are reasonably protected. Just kind of giving you an update. I know Councilmember Tomlinson had asked me a little bit on the noise element. We had a request on that, and so that was in the PD. And unfortunately, as you know, our chief is on workman's comp, but he's due back next month. So we have that with Mr. Will Krieger and our legal counsel, and so we'll be having a conversation with him shortly and trying to then come back to you with some alternatives and at least what legal counsel believes is the appropriate action for us to or non-action for us, whether it's action or non-action for us to pursue. So I just wanted to, express our thoughts and prayers are with Officer Bear right now, who sustained a motorcycle accident, is in the hospital with us. So as a member of our community and our Newman family, we hope and pray for him and his speedy recovery, and and God be with him and his family right now. Mayor, as you know, and Mayor Pro Tem, we've worked with our legal counsel, Will, and the West Stand agreement is in West Stand hands right now. It's been there for probably a week and a half, so I've reached out to Will again to see where that's at, and so we're just waiting for West Stand to come back to us with comments on that. And hopefully we'll have that to you at the second meeting in June. That would be the 24th. And then that's all that I have, and I can answer any questions that council may have.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Sergeant?
I don't have anything to report. Thank you to everybody who's reached out about Corey. And congratulations to the class of 2025. Celebrate responsibly. That's all I have.
Any more prayers?
Yeah. Happy to take any questions if there are any.
Thank you. Luke?
Well, y'all got into budget. I'll try and make it short and sweet at the next meeting. So if you have any questions on it, if you're pounding through whatever, you want to give me a call, please give me a call at my office. Glad to talk to you about it. I'll probably talk more than you want me to, but I just love talking about budget. That's pretty much it.
Thank you, Luke. Thomas?
Good evening. I want to give you a couple updates on news. News is coming along pretty good. We still have a few items, including some really nice kiosk signage. They're about 3 by 4 foot, and it kind of breaks down what the news system is. And so those are getting worked on for printing after a good review process to make sure it met grant requirements and the vision that we want for news. Next council meeting, we'll be bringing the urban forest management plan for your guys' review. That staff is finalizing the review on that, and we'll have a presentation from David Group, our consultant on that. Additionally, we're started up a safety action plan, different than what Michael was talking about on the safety element. But that safety action plan will help us serve as a roadmap to identify some critical investment and policies and strategies to move safely in Newman. Ultimately, we're in the process of gathering stakeholders and analyzing some crash data, and then that one we'll start working with that with community outreach, including some outreach events in June at the farmers market and some public stakeholder meetings. And with that in mind, last week was National Public Works week, and I want to say a special thanks to all the public works staff, everybody from the administrative duties to the field work. As many people know, public works is hands are on almost everything in the city, including but not limited to those parks, trees, like Lou was talking about in the landscape and lighting district one, our other parks, roads, the street maintenance, the water, getting nice, clean, safe water to everyone's faucet, along with our stormwater system, our collection system, and our wastewater treatment plant. So I want to give a special thanks out to the Public Works staff for that, and they are constantly on top of it. So and I'm open to any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, and thank you.
Thank you.
Rotem?
Just a continued appreciation for Brianna Athene and all the work that she does. She assisted us with catching a whole herd of wild kittens this year and getting them spayed and neutered. And I do recommend to the community that if you have a backyard with a good fence and you have the time and the energy to foster dogs from the shelter, our shelter is needs a lot of improvements. We were able recently to foster a dog. The poor little thing escaped after 2 hours. We got her back, and she's still with us now, safe and sound. But it is very rewarding, and it is a very traumatic experience for, especially for the little dogs that end up in the shelter. So that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
No, nothing to report. Congratulations on your adoption of a new dog.
I had the privilege to check out the local business here, Ancient Organics. If you guys ever get the chance to support local, they put a lot of time and money into the community, so support local. Really great people that run that place. And then again, congratulations, class of 25. Be safe and have fun. Enjoy your moment.
And I know graduation's this week, as many have stated. So again, be safe. Had a chance this weekend to go out to the cemetery over off of Draper and spend some time with the auxiliary. I know that they could use a lot more volunteer support out there. So if you find yourself free on a Monday next year, they definitely would like to see more people to their meetings, get some more support out there. But it was an eye-opener to be out there with those families and with the community, spend some time with them and hear their memories and support their local heroes. So again, thank you to all the fallen heroes out there and for the families and their sacrifices.
I attended the same event with Councilman Tomlinson with Ancient Organics, and it was pretty interesting thing to learn. The ghee is actually like a cooking butter or something like that. It's really good, but it's sold at Costco. And I was talking to the guys from Costco that were at the event, and they said that this company is now the #1 seller of ghee in the U.S. So, and it's made right here across the street, or just down the street. So that's kind of neat. That's coming from here, and that much is being processed here and sold across the country. So that was really good, and congratulations to all the graduates this year. We're going to have busy couple days coming up and hot. So thank you for everybody for coming tonight and being involved and for your guys' work in the community. And with that, I'll ask for adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
First, second.